Hey everyone! Welcome back to Story Hive. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss an update. Let's jump into today's story. My job hired someone new instead of promoting me, even after I've been loyal to them all these years. So now I'm not trying anymore, and they can regret what they've lost after I find a new job. Hi everyone, it's been a few months now since this happened, but I can't get past it, and I guess I just want to get this off my chest in hopes that it'll help me get over it. So here we go. I've been working at the same company for over 6 years. The company is medium-sized, and at the time I was hired, we didn't have a marketing department. As time went on, the company grew, and after 1 year of working there, they offered me the opportunity to kickstart the marketing department. I accepted, and for 2 years I was the only person in the marketing department. I did everything by myself. I knew how everything worked, and I kept my numbers and quality high. My manager even asked my boss to give me a bonus for my hard work. As the company grew, the work became too much for just one person, so they gave me a team. We were now 4 in total. I trained and pretty much led the team, but my title never went past marketing agent. I thought that with all the things I was doing, I'd at least get marketing manager by now. I expressed this to my manager. Months passed, and my title remained the same. Then, in a meeting with my manager one day, they told me that our boss was considering appointing a marketing team lead. They said they thought it was going to be me, as I had started the department, trained everyone, had the most knowledge, and had been with the company for 6 years. Naturally, I got excited hearing that and patiently waited for the boss to finally drop the news to me. The news ended up being that they were looking for a marketing team lead and decided to hire externally. I can't even put into words how I felt. Even now, I still feel like I've been punched in the gut. It feels so unfair and humiliating. I was the first person in the marketing department. I have the most experience, so why would you hire someone with zero experience instead? I asked my manager why I wasn't considered for the role, and their response was basically, the boss just couldn't see you being team-led. Hearing that seriously drove my self-esteem off a cliff and made me feel even more humiliated. They eventually hired someone to take on the team lead role, and what made me want to slam my head against the wall is that they made me train them on everything I knew. Listen, the new team lead is a nice person, and I really don't want to hate them because it's not their fault, but my bitterness is so strong that I just don't even want to interact with them unless they or I need help. So now I'm stuck being a marketing agent forever, I guess. But what really drove me to vent on here is the new team member. One person on the team left and was replaced with someone else. The team lead is on vacation, so I was the one asked to train the new hire. As I was training them, we talked, and I told them a little about myself, about how I started the department and everything. Then they said so all that just to not be team lead. That honestly just pissed me off. I don't know if it was their wording, their tone, or the look of pity on their face that got to me, but I just shut down. I laughed it off, finished up with training, and barely worked for the rest of the day. The day after that, I did the same. Even now, I feel like my numbers are lower than usual, and my quality has definitely dropped, but I just can't care anymore. I know I could just quit, but this company's benefits are amazing, and I've made so many friends here that leaving would be really hard. Traveling for work every few months has allowed me to see different cities and gain new experiences, but I just can't get past this, and I don't know if I ever will. I might just go through the days until I really can't do it anymore. If you've read up to this point, thank you for your time. I really appreciate it, and I hope this situation never happens to you. Edit. Hi again, everyone. I just want to thank you all for your advice. You've all been very helpful and have given me the confidence to send my resume to other companies for a team lead or manager position. I'll be sending my resume to more as they pop up, though the market is terrible right now. But I am pretty confident now. I just have to act normal in this current position until I hear from one of them. Wish me luck. For those wondering how I trained the new team lead, I did not teach them everything I knew, hell no. I taught them enough to do their job, but when it comes to the deeper knowledge I held back. I personally thought it was the smartest decision for me, as teaching them all I knew wouldn't have benefited me at all. It's up to my company to teach them everything else, not to keep relying on me. When I was asked to train the new hire, I did mention that I shouldn't train them if we have a team lead, but the boss hit back saying that I would be responsible if the team fell behind while waiting for the team lead to return from vacation. I didn't want to cause stress for the rest of the team and myself, so I stupidly complied. I did consider threatening to leave if I didn't get the team lead role, but I held back because I was afraid of the response. I was afraid they would have just let me go, and I'd be left unemployed without a backup job, especially considering the job market right now. But I guess my pride also played a part in it. I really wanted to be given the team lead role because they believed in me and wanted to give it to me, not because I threatened them. I also quite like my job, so I thought I could suck it up, but it's really not worth the mental suffering. Huge thanks again for reading my ramblings. Have a great one, guys. Update 1. Hey everyone, so I got a job as a marketing team lead. I just finished week 3. The market is rough right now, but I'm glad I didn't give up and kept applying. My new job is a little challenging, but my mental health is in a better place now, knowing I could finally fully let go of that grudge. If you're in a similar situation, don't lose hope. When I gave in my notice, I would pay good money just to see the look on my boss's face again. When I told them I was leaving for a marketing team lead job, they tried a salary match, but I declined. They asked what they could do to keep me, but I kept it polite and just said that it was time for me to experience more in a different role. I could tell they were really pissed, but I couldn't care less. They apparently talked smack about me to the manager, saying that I was betraying them and all that BS. It's so embarrassing, huh? Of course, before I left, I asked my manager what I needed to improve on to be a better team lead so I could do even better in my new role. I was told things like be a little more strict, have more confidence, and other things I made sure to write down to work on. I know it's been months, but I still wanted to ask again why I was passed up for the promotion at this company. So apparently, it's because they made it so that the team lead did more admin work, more team reports, team evaluations, team decisions, and coming up with new procedures, and less marketing. Apparently, since I'm the most senior with consistent results, they didn't want to lose that by making me team lead. So they figured keeping me as a marketing agent was the smartest move for the company. I fully understand their decision, but screw that. I feel like I'm actually doing what a team lead should be doing in my new company, and that's all I really wanted. It just feels like they're still trying to figure out what a team lead should do, and I'm not willing to stick around for that. Again, thank you to everyone for encouraging me to look for another job. I got way too comfortable in my last job and allowed them to walk all over me. You aren't handcuffed to a certain company forever. It's okay to leave when you feel there's no more growth for you. Have a great one, everyone. Update 2. A few months had passed since the disappointment that had lingered in the corners of my mind. After years of dedication and hard work, I had been the sole person in the department for 2 years before managing a small team, all the while my title remained as a marketing agent. I had hoped for a promotion, especially after putting in so much effort, but it never came. Instead, I was left to train the new external hire, which felt like a slap in the face. The emotional blow was compounded when a new team member joined while the new team lead was on vacation. During their training, the new hire remarked on my long tenure and my lack of promotion, which struck a nerve. I tried to brush it off, but their comment made me question my worth and further diminished my already fragile motivation. My performance started to wane, and the enthusiasm that once drove me now seemed out of reach. Despite the bitter taste of the situation, I chose to stay for a while longer. The benefits of my current job were excellent, and I had built lasting friendships over the years. But the lingering hurt made it increasingly difficult to remain engaged. I began searching for new opportunities, focusing on roles that could offer the recognition and growth I had been denied. My efforts paid off. I landed a new position as a marketing team lead at a different company. The transition was both challenging and invigorating. For the first time in a long while, I felt a renewed sense of purpose and accomplishment. My mental health improved significantly, and I felt I could finally let go of the grudge that had weighed me down for so long. When I resigned from my previous job, it was a bittersweet moment. I could almost imagine the look of surprise on my former boss's face when I announced that I was leaving for a better position. They offered to match my salary and asked what could be done to keep me, but I politely declined. It was time for a new chapter, and I was determined to embrace it fully. Before leaving, I had asked for feedback on how I could improve as a team lead. The advice was to be more assertive and confident, which I took to heart. As for why I hadn't been promoted at my old job, I learned it was because the company preferred me in a role that allowed me to focus on marketing rather than administrative tasks. While I understood their reasoning, it felt like a missed opportunity. Looking back, I realized that I had become too comfortable in a role that no longer challenged me. The experience taught me that staying in a position where there is no growth could lead to stagnation. I was glad to have moved on and found a role where I felt truly valued and could apply all the skills I had developed over the years. My new job was far from perfect, but it was mine, and I was ready to make the most of it. Update 3. Months had passed since I left my old job, and the sting of that bitter experience had gradually faded into the background. I had taken a leap of faith and moved on to a new company, stepping into a role as a marketing team lead. It was a fresh start, and though the transition was daunting, it was exactly what I needed. The new job was a significant challenge, but one I welcomed. I found myself immersed in responsibilities that pushed me to grow in ways I hadn't anticipated. The work was demanding, and there were days when I questioned if I was up to the task, but the support from my new colleagues and the sense of genuine appreciation I received made all the difference. I was finally recognized for my abilities and contributions, something I had longed for and never quite achieved in my previous position. The old company still lingered in my thoughts from time to time. I had kept my professional distance, but heard through mutual connections that things hadn't changed much. The external team lead they had hired seemed to struggle with some of the challenges I had anticipated. I felt a small sense of vindication, knowing that my expertise had been undervalued but was now being put to good use elsewhere. Despite the lingering echoes of the past, I focused on building my career in this new environment. I had taken the lessons from my previous job to heart, especially the importance of advocating for myself and seeking roles that offered true growth potential. Each day in my new role brought new opportunities to prove myself. Looking back, I realized how important it was to take charge of my career path and not settle for complacency. The old company's loss was indeed my gain. I had come to appreciate the journey and the growth it had sparked in me. The bitterness had slowly given way to a sense of accomplishment and fulfillment. I was no longer the person who was passed over for a promotion. I was now someone who had carved out a meaningful role for themselves and was thriving in it. In this new chapter, I found not only professional satisfaction, but also a renewed sense of confidence and purpose. Each milestone in my new role reaffirmed that I had made the right choice. The path had been difficult, but it had led me to a place where I was finally being recognized for the value I brought to the table. Thanks for tuning in to today's Reddit story. If you enjoyed it, please give this video a thumbs up and share it with your friends. And if you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss out on more amazing stories. See you next time.